So there's two questions only, so, okay. But I think the one with the mindfulness, I think it's answered, yeah? Like you said, what do you mean when you say mindfulness is a memory for where I want to go? It is not contradictory. Mindfulness is being to be in the present moment. It depends what you mean by mindfulness.
It's not my question.
It's not your question. So where is your question?
I didn't put it.
It's not there? Oh, you didn't put it? Ah, okay. So this is what, I don't know whose question it is, because there's only one, so I was, see, wrong views. One jumps to conclusions and it's totally wrong. Like, you know, we do it all the time. We do it all the time. So, but anyway, I think I answered it, whoever asked the question. It's like, it's the kind of mindfulness that he here talks about is the mindfulness of being, like the memory of wanting to be a non-harming person and to be a helpful person. That is what you develop. And with awareness, you check whether you're doing that or not. If you talk about mindfulness in the meditation, yeah, then mindfulness means you have decided this is my object with which I will practice what is called shamatha, calm abiding. Yeah? So we forget the object, because when the mind moves away, that means you forgot the object, so you lost your memory of the object. But because the memory is still somehow there, the moment you notice that you're not there, because of that memory, knowing what the object is, the mind automatically comes back to the object. So it's a little bit like, you know, again, don't make it, Westerners in general, they make too much a big deal out of meditation, especially this kind of, you know, awareness meditation. It's not just on the cushion that you do that. This is, you do it everywhere. And the word meditation, by the way, it just means practice. Bhavana. Training. Bhavana. This is what it means. In Tibetan, it means gong, meaning making the mind familiar with something. It doesn't mean sitting like a statue. Yeah? It's helpful when we sit still, but it can also be done. You know, these moments of mindfulness are coming back. It can be done by, some people have apps on their telephones where each hour the gong goes. And then it brings them back to the present. Without that, it's not there. So it's a little bit like, you know, brushing your teeth in the morning. Maybe you are still aware when you put your toothpaste, then you put the brush in your mouth, you start brushing, but then it takes a few minutes, not even minutes, it takes a few seconds, and with your thoughts, you're somewhere else. But then you come back. And then again it goes, and then you come back. So this is, you know, practicing mindfulness, knowing what you're doing. When you do it in the meditation, coming back to your object again and again and again. The awareness is the attention, seeing that you're not doing what you were set out to do. And this is why it's these two aspects. Yeah. So then if you use it in meditation, then mindfulness means remembering your object of shamatha, of calm abiding, putting the mind there, letting it rest on the object. So this is why it's good when it's a neutral object, like the breath, for example. It's always there, we're neither attached nor averse to it, we can feel it. But it can also be the image of a Buddha or the nature of your mind. But this is very difficult, because then you need to know what you're looking for, you know. That's then, everybody wants to do this kind of Dzogchen Mahamudra, you know. But it's like, they have very nice sayings for this meditation. When they say, just let the mind rest in its natural state. It will realize its own nature. Well, this is very beautiful, but when is our mind in its natural state? Meaning calm and open and not lost in concept. When is it there? Hardly ever. When it is there, we don't notice it. Then we're totally dull, and then we call this, you know, being calm. And when we don't notice what's going on anymore. But it sounds very nice, doesn't it? So when the mind rests in its natural state, it will realize its own nature. I'm not saying it's not possible, okay? But this is why we do all these things. Like, for example, this evening we'll do a short purification practice. In order to, for all these hindrances that come, these disturbances that come all the time, for them to calm down or to eliminate them, yeah? So this is why. So, but I don't know who asked the question, but is it clear? It's not contradictory. No, mindfulness doesn't mean just to be knowing what is going on in the present. It goes together with knowing also, will this bring me happiness or will this bring me suffering? Yeah? Because then also there is a verse here where Shantideva says, thieves are very mindful. Cats, when they are going after a mouse, they're very mindful. Yeah, and there's another example, I can't remember who. Thieves, cats, and something else. But, you know, mindfulness by itself, just being very concentrated. You can do that because you want to rob a bank.
Yeah. I've heard that in the States, they train with mindfulness the shoot people, the selfie.
Yeah.
Sniper.
Shooter. Sniper.
Yeah. Yeah. So just training being in the present for the purpose of being in the present, it doesn't make you a better person. It doesn't even make you a happier person. It might make you more successful. So it depends what you set out you want to have success about. Yeah? And I'm sure these people who came to defuse the bomb, they're doing meditation practices. These practices to calm the mind and to be present. You could see it, the way they walked and the way they kind of were totally present. Yeah. So yeah, this is why, you know. But is that okay for this question?
Yes, it is.
Huh?
Yes, it was my
It's yours.
question.
Is it okay? Is
Also, I put the question, and after during the afternoon, you already gave a part of the answer.
okay. Okay, great. But it's okay. It's okay. You can write down whatever question you want to write down.
Yeah.
You know, that's perfect. Is there rebirth after meditation with visualization? This I don't understand the question.
What? Is it what?
Oh, it's after. Enlightenment. Well, if you have decided to come back because you want to be of benefit, of course you will be reborn. Because how can you be of benefit to somebody when they can't perceive you?
No, and after meditation, and you make a enlightenment. Enlightenment.
Yeah,
You can reborn.
yeah. If you want. If you don't want, no. But if you want, yes. This is why already now we generate the mind of compassion. So that mind of compassion doesn't let us sit somewhere just in peace. Then what makes you be reborn is your compassion and not your attachment to existence. You see, if you hear about the Mahayana teachings and about the founder vehicle teaching, Mahayana vehicle, founder vehicle teaching, and the founder vehicle sounds a bit boring because just to go, you know, have nobody, have no friends, just sit there in eternal peace, it sounds, you know. And then you say, well, I think I'd better go for the Mahayana where I come back again and again and again, very active, having all these skills and doing this. That's not the right motivation. This is attachment to activity. Yeah. So for us, you know, we are getting, but this is usually what it is. It sounds much nicer, this Mahayana goal. Yeah. Theravada goal, you know, just to disappear into who knows what. Yeah. So yeah, of course. If you want, I mean, it will be your compassion who makes you manifest in whatever form is of benefit to others. There can be many forms, not just one, you know. And this is why I'm saying, try not to go too much there, you know. Again, we go, what is happening now, here with me? What will happen in the future? I can guarantee you, if you do attain enlightenment and then you regret it, because you were not so sure what you're getting into, and then you go, oh shit, that's not what I wanted. I give you all my possessions, all my bank account, everything, you can have it. You can really have it. Ringo Tulku, when he was here not so long ago, none of you were there, yeah? We had a wonderful teacher in Herzliya about a month ago, Ringo Tulku. Was an excellent English, very good understanding, practitioner, of course, and really like the way he explains. He it will be like very ordinary. Going, oh, why didn't I understand this before? What on earth was I doing before that? And not, oh, I'm so bad, and all that. Just, oh, okay, it's just an illusion. Yeah, the same way, if you see an illusion, something, you know, that and you think it's real, and you have your whole emotional kind of thing going. They use, as example, they use a rope. You are living in a country where there's snakes. Yeah? If you're living in a country where there's snakes, which India, there is a lot of snakes. Cobras, like they do exist, and they are sometimes in your bathroom. I mean, we had some, and you have snake catchers who kind of catch them, and then they, the Buddhist snake catchers, but they just throw them somewhere else. But they put, they catch them here, and then they put them in a bag. So then they were coming with them on a motorcycle, and then we saw them a little further down. Both of them jumped off the motorcycle and started kind of jumping up, and we were both thinking, what happened? So of course the snake escaped. If this whole thing, if we understand in what dangerous situation we are, they say when we really understand, like, I don't feel like meditating, I don't feel like practicing, then when you have enthusiasm, in order to counteract that laziness, it is as if a snake, you're lying in your bed and you don't want to get up, and you go like, oh, just 5 more minutes, or 2 more minutes, that's what one does in the morning. But then the snake from the ceiling falls onto your bed. Would you still go, oh no, just 1 more minute?
One shouldn't move if there's a snake.
Huh?
One shouldn't move if there is a snake.
Yeah, but I guarantee you will move. Although not necessarily, because I was not a Buddhist, and now that we're talking about snakes, I was in Thailand and I'm not a Buddhist, just pleasure traveling around. And I went from the bus stopped and I needed to go caca. I went to the bushes. I was very genius. So I made caca. Quite happy that the bus stopped in time, because sometimes on public buses it's not easy. You can't say, excuse me, I need to go to the toilet. You have to wait until they stop. So pants down, caca. I look up, there's this green, I don't know if it was a poisonous thing, but it was about that long, and it looked really vicious. It was hanging in the bushes and was looking at me. And maybe because I didn't have time to get frightened, I really did probably the right thing. I moved very, very, very slowly. I looked at it, and then I didn't pull up my pants, I just kind of moved out. But then I ran, and then the fear came. Yeah? But while I was focused on that green thing there, which was a snake, and they afterwards they told me, the green ones, yeah, they are really poisonous. So I was not afraid. But the thing about this, also I remember in Bodhisattva, then we were sitting in the garden, we had discussion groups, and we were talking about death and dying. So somebody says, I'm not afraid of death. We continue to discuss, and all of a sudden a snake comes out of the hole, and zoop, goes into her lap, and this, whoa, she jumped. And so I said, you're not afraid of death. Well, no, I'm just afraid of snakes. Yeah. So we have a lot of views about ourselves that when the situation is not there, we think that, yeah, but anyway, even if you would have the ability to move very slowly and the snake would fall on your bed, I think you would still get out of your bed. You would just, kind of, at least you would not be interested anymore in staying 5 minutes longer in the bed. You would be interested, how do I get out of this without getting hurt? Yeah, so it's just an example that, like, when we are with snakes, we move away. I mean, this is what we usually do. Okay, how did we get to the snakes and to all this kind of stuff? Yeah, so if we would realize how dangerous the situation that we are, we would have so much more enthusiasm. Yeah. Also, if you would trust the Buddhas when he says, making offerings to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, making offerings to your parents, and making offerings to the poor and the sick, you create so much positive potential. Yeah, we would have much more joy in offering if we would trust it. But because because we don't, that's the next verses that come now, because we don't understand that the Buddha's mind is always present, then for us, he doesn't receive the offering. Yeah? Whereas if the Dalai Lama would be here, and you give him a crème roll, and he would bite into it, and maybe he has a bit of white here still, and he goes, ho, 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 with the crème roll that you gave him. Can you imagine the joy that you would experience? Yeah. So this is what we have to learn when we make offerings. Hey, this is for the Buddhas. They do receive it. So it's important that it's done properly and it's clean, Like if you have a very honored guest, you're not just kind of throwing the food in their plate. You do it very mindfully. So it's the same you do when you do the altar. You do it as if. It's not as if the Buddhas are there. I'm pouring them whatever now I want to offer. Then it becomes very meaningful, Not then afterwards, how does it look? Does it look good? It's not for us. It's for the Buddhas. Okay, to us to inspire us. So like this. So if we would know how much merit we are creating, what Lama Zopa says, just by, this is why Lama Zopa, he wants pictures up. Because he says just seeing the form of an enlightened being creates so much merit in people's minds. Yeah. So if we would know, just you looking at this picture, not me of course, but the picture behind me and the statues, even if you're angry at them, even if you're disturbed, it still nourishes your goodness, because that figure symbolizes love, compassion, and wisdom. And then it nourishes our own innate love, compassion, and wisdom. But we don't believe it, because at the moment we don't feel anything. Yeah? We need instant stuff. Then we start to believe. The masters, and here also the next one is about devotion to the master. If you have devotion to a master, just thinking about this person puts you in a positive state. You don't even need to do anything. If you have a picture and you look at the picture and then it opens up your heart. Why? Because their hearts are open constantly. Why? Because they are concerned about our happiness. They're not concerned about their happiness. They're not concerned about their fame and their reputation or whatever. Yeah? But you can only experience that if you have a master. Somebody that you trust. Somebody that you follow the instructions. Somebody that you really appreciate their presence because you know them. Yeah? So, but that can happen in a dream. Some people dream of their master, they haven't even met them. Yeah? And then they meet them and then it's like, wow, rainbows and I don't know what, And immediately they know this is my master, can be a woman also. Yeah? So, and if you are ready to have a master, you don't need to go to India. The master will come to wherever you are. If you're not ready to have a master, because having a master means you allow that person to guide you. And you're not going, oh no, I don't think this is good for me. You allow the person to guide you. It means you follow their advice. And then it's difficult. If you think if I had a master, my life would be much easier, Paul. If I wouldn't have a master, I wouldn't be sitting here. I would be somewhere alone, meditating, studying, peace of mind, not having to deal with other people's problems. Yeah? I'm not saying I don't like to do what I'm doing. You probably noticed that I like to do what I'm doing. But me, from my own side, you think I would have decided to go out and teach? Forget it, I wouldn't have had enough. So. And then coming to Israel, oh no, thank you very much. I had a total wrong image of Israel before I came. I was 200% pro-Palestinian, of course, like many of the Europeans, because we don't know the situation. And then we only get the news, so we don't know what's going on. So I thought, I'm not going there, because I'm angry at these people. I don't know them, but I'm angry at them. What am I going to teach them about patience and stuff like this? I don't like what they're doing. And also another thing because I didn't want to come was because I knew about the Holocaust. I was very much interested in the Holocaust when I was still very young. I had all the big, photo albums and these books with all the horrible pictures in it and this and that. So I must have a strong connection to Jewishness somewhere because I didn't grow up around Jews in Switzerland. I was very attracted also to religious people, religious Jews. I was working in a sports shop in the mountains, and still now there's hotels that cater for them. And then there was a kind of a guest house which is called Netanya. No, not Etanya. It wasn't called Netanya, it was called Etanya. And there was all religious Jews there, and they would come to the show. Of course, not buy anything. You had to kind of pull out everything for them. They would not say thank you or anything like that. They would just, I was fascinated by them. And whenever they came, they said, you go. I'd be there, So this is when I was very young, before I was 20 or something. So, and then, of course, came my whole political kind of getting involved with Bader Meinhof being my, terrorist, being my idols and stuff like that. Wanted to destroy the whole world. And there's a lot of things with a lot of violence also, and a lot of hate and anger, and not really knowing what's going on, but still rebelling and like this. So then when I met Buddhism, why I got interested in Buddhism is because I read the book of the Dalai Lama, My Land and My People. And the way he talks about the Chinese in that book, I was very impressed. I thought, man, I'm getting angry at Israelis who I don't even know because of what they do to the Palestinians. And there is a person who has lost his country. Tremendous suffering is going on. And he has zero hate for the Chinese. And that really impressed me. I thought, wow, this is really, that's impressive. So that's why I got into Buddhism. And then, of course, at the beginning also, me who grew up totally non-religious, all this stuff which is behind me, the philosophy, the methods I really liked. I thought wow, this is feasible. Somehow I had to trust that being able to transform my mind, if I have these methods, that's feasible. It will be difficult, I know, but it's feasible. It's not impossible. So that's why I stayed, because I had enough money and I didn't have anything in the West. I had already given up everything. I was traveling around in the South Pacific for 3.5 years before I started to do something useful. Yeah, it's not as wonderful as one thinks.
So why did you came?
Huh?
So why did you came?
To Israel?
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing is why I didn't also want to go, because I knew about the Holocaust. So I thought, I have no right to tell these people who don't believe in rebirth about karma. It's not going to fit with their views. It's just going to hurt them and do this. So why did I come? So I went to see my master. I said, look, they invited me to come to Israel, but I don't want to go. He said, no, okay, you can go. So then I came. And I came, as I said, during the second Intifada, where bombs were exploding, the nightclub was exploding there on the beach in Tel Aviv. I saw it on the news. I was in Switzerland because my mother had just died. People said, what, you go to Israel? Did you see, do you know what's going on? So I said, no, why, what? So I started watching the news. I thought, oh, wow, I'm not sure if I want to go there. And so I was, this is the Swiss way of being politely saying I don't want to come. So I wrote an email to Boaz at that time. I said, look, if you want to cancel my visit, it's totally... And I even said, me from my own side, I'm still coming. I didn't mean. I really thought, who wants to hold a meditation course when bombs are exploding around you? And then, of course, he wrote back, no, please come. We need you. So then again, the trust in the master. Because he had told me in April, when I asked him, yes, you go. The Intifada started somewhere in September or something, I can't remember. I think I came in October, the second Intifada. Can you remember when it started?
Right now.
Okay, so somewhere in September. I was, I think, coming in October, so I had seen what was going on. And so I thought, well, if he tells me to come, some benefit must be in there. Something of benefit must be there. So then, the way I prepared myself to come was visualizing walking into a bomb.
walking?
into a bone, so that I wouldn't be too afraid. This is the Buddhist way of go to the places where you're most afraid of. So, in order to lose your fear. So also when I'm a bit nervous on the bicycle in Switzerland, and there's a big truck coming, and I get nervous, I visualize that the truck is hitting me. Then I calm down. Because otherwise I get all stiff, and I just go in my mind and go, and then I calm down. I mean, I'm not going like this with my hands. But it brings me into the present, and it brings me back to reality. I could get hit by a truck, you know. I could walk into a bomb. Not just here. The bombs are exploding just about everywhere in the world at this moment. Yeah. So this is why I came. This is how I prepared myself. Then I got the shock of my life. Because I thought, you know, I come here, I tell them about Buddhism, nobody will believe anything, they will start arguing, they will be very disrespectful. And it was exactly the opposite. So it was a good thing that I had prepared myself that all the resident Israelis are the same as the ones who come to India after the army. To Shita and to Shita and wherever, to Shita Kopan, wherever. So I thought everybody's like this. Then I started saying they got the shock of my life, and I thought, wow, they're actually quite nice. And this is very nice. Somebody else told me the same story. You see, if we don't know, if we wouldn't know this is Israeli, this is this, we would meet each other totally open. So the one was telling me, he has a big motorcycle, and he was on a European tour, and they were waiting for the ferry, so there were some German bikers there. You know, the German bikers, like the Hells Angel kind of type stuff. And so not just the motorcycle, but also the attitude behind it. So they didn't have water, and they didn't have time to buy some before the ferry left. So the one had spare water, so he gave it to them. They started talking and all this and that. Then they met again at the bar. They drank a beer together and this and that. And then the German guy finally asked Doran, "Where are you from?" And he said, "I'm from Israel." He said, "What? You're a Jew? You're an Israeli? Gosh, you're the first Jew that I talked to. And actually, you're quite a nice guy."
Is he a husband?
Yeah. And he said, because he is a very nice guy. So he said, "And wow, you're actually a nice guy." So you see, if he would have known from the beginning that he's Jewish, he might not have even accepted the water, because the right-wing Hells Angels bikers in Germany, they're totally anti-Semitic. They're totally for everything that is foreign, is like no good. Yeah. So then it's such a nice story, because they met each other on a human level first, needing something, getting it from somebody else. And then the heart is open, and even you find out he's Jewish, doesn't matter. And he said, "I'll come visit you." But then they forgot to exchange phone numbers. But anyway, it doesn't matter. You know, the nice thing is that they met each other on a human level. So also, if you have a conflict with somebody, because what do they have in common? What they like? The motorcycles. Yeah? So if you have a conflict with somebody, don't talk about the conflict. It's no point. You need to first find something that both of you like, and then you start discussing that. And then you meet on a totally different level than when you start immediately with conflict. And you shouldn't do this in order to manipulate others. Because you see, all these methods that we're learning here, you can perfectly use them to manipulate other people. So that you're very kind, and then maybe they're kind to you, then they do what you want them to do. Again, that is using medicine like poison. Or sometimes they say that is turning gods into demons. Gods in the sense of wholesome, healing, good, you know. Yeah, when you use it for that. When you are being kind because you want to manipulate somebody into doing something for you. Yeah. So you should never use it like that. Okay? You want to be kind people?
Let's think
Huh?
about it.
Huh?
Let's think about it.
Yeah, think about it. Do I want to be a kind person?